Hey dudes, I'm Breadstick Ninja. Welcome back to the Glade and episode 23.
In a world where you're a goner, if you leave without your armor and you come across a spawner, yeah, that's Breadstick's world. It's a world full of creepers, Endermen, and jukebox speakers, shulker boxes full of everything you need to survive. Breadstick world.
All right, today's project is going to be all about the wool. That's right, the wool. We'll talk about that in a second. Before we get into it, let's hit the project board. Now, we have been clearing items off the project board pretty quick. I do want to get to the Hall of Comments pretty soon, but I do not want to do another building episode today. We already did a couple of building episodes. We finished the farm barn in the last one, and I'll show you guys the upstairs of that here in just a second. But we got a couple things we need to hit, and I think we should put them on here because I want to start working towards a pixel art area, right? We've talked about that. So one thing we're going to need for pixel art is we're going to need colored blocks, and we're going to need a lot of them. And that's why we're tackling wool today. But we're also going to need some other things. Dyes, ink sacks, cocoa beans. Did I spell it right? Cocoa beans? I don't know. But that's what we got. So we're going to get most of our dyes, obviously, from flowers, and we're going to talk about that in the next episode. Ink sacks, I think, are going to be easier to get than wither roses, so that's why we're going to go that direction. And then, obviously, cocoa beans for our brown. So I think the next episode, we are going to tackle this. If not all of it, at least make a good run at it. But for this episode, we are going to talk about wool farms. Wool farms. And I can't wait for this, dudes. I got a cool plan. I'm pumped. I think it's going to be awesome. Oh. Hey, Randy. Thanks, Randy. All right, dudes. Let me grab a nap, and then I'm going to show you the inside of the farm barn. Now, as you guys can see, I did close off the top section of the farm barn, and I closed off the big empty hole I still had sitting over here. And kind of, if you guys can see this, and kind of made it match the other side of the farm barn. So that's cool, and that's done. We can fly in and out. It's super handy. Don't worry about those sheep. We're gonna talk about those sheep in a minute. So the original game plan for today was to put a wool farm right here. Okay, Silent Whisper has a great design I was gonna use that would fit great in this little spot here, and then we could just drop the storage all the way down to the first floor and just run it right down here in this area. So that was the original game plan. But if you guys noticed, in my last episode, I had some lag, which was super annoying. And it was just in this one spot when I was working on the roof. And the only thing I've changed inside the farm barn recently was this. I put in a chicken coop, right? An egg farm. We're farming eggs, and the reason I did that was so the next time we go kill wither, we can get some wither roses. Now, there's not a ton of chickens in here. It looks like a lot, but it's probably only about 20 chickens. I don't know if that was enough to cause lag. It was just that one little section. I couldn't recreate it. I couldn't make it happen again. I tried off camera, but maybe that was enough to do it. I'm not sure. I don't want to put the sheep here, right? I don't want to put any more animal farms in the farm barn. We're just going to stick to item farms, basically. I'm not going to put any more animals in here. So I am destroying the eggs, you guys can see before you hit me up on that. We don't have items lagging. When this chest is full, they do actually filter over here into this line, and they get burnt down here. There's just a little lava under there, little dropper circuit. You guys have seen that. So yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of that could be causing lag. So I'm not going to put the animals over here. So I came up with a cool little design for a sheep farm that kind of got me thinking, right? Because we're going to move it from the farm barn where we have to be compact and tiny. And instead, we're going to put it over there in our big industrial farm area. That kind of made me think I should do a little sheep farm myself, right? Sheep farms are pretty simple. I could probably design one. Well, I did. I had fun. I did come up with something that was mine, but it's definitely not compact, and it definitely does not conserve resources, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it anyway. So that's what we're doing today. Before we go, we've got a couple things to talk about. A couple things I'm very excited about. Number one, I got a comment. Somebody said, close this hole. They said the area is looking so nice. The glade is looking so good. And thank you. It is looking so good. But your little hole in the ground is getting ridiculous. So I'm sorry, skeleton horses. I'm sorry. Don't look. You didn't see that. It didn't happen. So we are just going to throw a couple torches down here. Get out of here. We're going to close this off. And we're out of grass. Look at that. There we go. So we definitely got to terraform this, but we'll come back around to that. We'll have a terraforming episode at some point. But I want to get that done. And the very last thing I want to do before we get to work on a wool farm, I wanted to show you guys we have our very first pixel art submission. Okay, this is from Ben, and he wants us to build a ring wraith. I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Very cool, am I right? Okay, so that's the very first pixel art we are gonna put in our pixel art area. But before we can do that, we gotta get supplies. We gotta get some farms so we can have lots of supplies for lots of different pixel arts. And we're gonna start today. So if you guys noticed, on the other side of the farm barn, I have sheep. I have sheep to move because originally we were gonna have them in the farm barn, but now we're not. So I'm gonna, what? You're not. Get out of here. Ooh, 5 leather. That was a good hit. So I'm going to take our 16 sheep and move them all the way over to our farming area. And I'll meet you guys back here. I will meet you in the farming area with the sheep to do some work. We are back in the farming area. We've got all of our sheep. We've got some sheep over there. We've got some sheep over there. We've got a random boy just right here in the middle of the road. And as you guys can see, I started laying out the little cells we're going to have the sheep in, okay? So this is certainly not as compact. We're going to separate the sheep, and then we're going to have a collection barrel for each color of wool. So it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. One thing I'll show you how I set this one up. I set this one up just to make sure it would work and all that. And as you can see, it is. He doesn't have any wool. And down here in his barrel, we've got some gray wool. We're just going to be setting up these little cells with one colored sheep in each. And then we're going to have a little barrel down there, and it's going to collect his wool when he gets sheared. And I'll show you how to set that up. So we're going to do a barrel, and we're going to come back over here, and we're going to throw in a hopper. Put some dirt back. We'll throw down some tracks. We will go ahead and throw down a minecart hopper. Break that. Get that out. And there we go. So there's the next one ready. And we'll get another sheep in here. We can set up the back so you guys can see it again, just like we did. So we're just going to go observer, observer, dispenser, throw in some shears. And we'll fill all these dispensers up. Before we get done with this project, we'll fill all these dispensers up. But that's it. You got it. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then we're going to go ahead and throw we're going to go ahead and throw a sheep in there. And I'm just going to do that over and over and over. So, now that you've got that long-winded, complex, convoluted explanation, let me do this about 14 more times, and I'll come back, and we'll see what this place looks like. Okay, guys, quick update. We are trucking right along. I've got about 2/3 in, right? 6 on the back, 5 here, just 5 more sheep to put in. So we're doing pretty good. I pushed that wall back a little bit, ran into a little bit of a problem in the corner, but I think it looks pretty good now. And don't worry, we're not going to leave this dirt hanging out. We'll put something in here. We'll put some steps down here or something. We'll put something in. We'll figure out some way to decorate this. We got to leave this grass here because it's what actually helps that grow. Where they eat their grass, it helps it grow back. And we're doing pretty good. 42 there. 35. 29. And you can tell what order I'm doing in 22. 28. So I started here and I just worked all the way down. But we are actually getting a little bit of wool from everybody. And that guy literally just put in before I turned the camera on. But yeah, it's coming along good. It's coming along good, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to be cool. We'll have to figure out a cool way to decorate it, but we can do that. That's no big deal. But I wanted to show you guys something. I just can't believe the luck. So I was moving these sheep around and dragging them over there, and look at this, literally right below the ground. And it's a skelly spawner. It's a skelly spawner. And look at all this loot. I mean, I'll take it all. Especially this gunpowder. You guys know how bad we've been looking for gunpowder. I'm about it. Golden apple in there. Yeah. So I was actually pretty pumped up about that. We're gonna have to get a little bone farm. I mean, I know we already have one that works really well, but yeah, I mean, it's just so close. We could actually be making bone meal while we're farming. I mean, that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. And I think, honestly, we probably ought to slab this area eventually. You know what I mean? We ought to just slab it out. But all right. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm not going to linger. Still a lot of farm left to build. I'll get the rest of these sheep in, and I'll come back. I'll come back to you. All right, breadheads, we are back, and look at this. She's done. We are officially farming roll. Farming roll? Farming roll. We are officially farming wool, and I am pumped. So if we jump down here, this is the one we started with, and look at that. We've got almost a stack, and this is the very last one we did. So, I mean, it's great. We've got something going on with every single one. Everything seems to be working. And we've officially got wool. Now, I think we're not going to get crazy on the decoration, okay? But we do want to make it look a little bit nicer than it does. Now, we can't get rid of this top grass here. And I think I want to put each color of wool above the barrel. So, let's get some stairs. Let's get some, maybe we got some stone stairs. Oh, gosh. Get out of here. Get out of here, fool. I lied. I changed my mind. I want to make this into stone brick stairs. Yes, I like that. And then let's go ahead and we're just going to go real simple on this. And we're going to have to be careful. Really careful. But I think we should just put in a bunch of these. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. I think that's going to look clean. And since we're not going to decorate the industrial area, I think it's going to be the best way to go. Because we talked about not getting crazy on the decoration and saving that for the glade. So let me go through here. And like, I think on top of each barrel, we're going to do that color. Whatever that color happens to be. I'm just like waiting to accidentally kick a sheep out of here. Yeah, that looks good. I can live with that. And then maybe along the top we go, we can't change the grass block, but maybe we could do something like this. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. It's better than nothing. It's better than leaving it. We could put stairs or something, but I don't feel like that's gonna look good. Okay, let's do that. Let's do this. We're gonna keep pulling it down because a couple of those sheep, I accidentally knocked out the block they were standing on. Oh, that was terrible. We've got so much white wool. Honestly, we probably could have left white wool out. We're getting so much white wool from our string. Like, our string is just stupid from that iron farm. Like, I don't know how much iron we've gotten while we've been doing this, but I'll bet you there's probably, I don't know. There's got to be at least a half a chest of string, I would bet. Oh, what are we going to do in the corner? Ooh, that's so annoying. Oh, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. What can we do? I don't know. I'm going to think about that. I do not like those showing in the corner, but I'm not sure what we can do. Other than pushing that whole thing back one, I don't know. And we still have the same problem. We would still have the same problem. Okay, so I'll think about that. I will think about that. And I think we're going to call that a Adilio. Adilio? Are we calling it Adilio? I don't know if we should call that a Adilio. And then maybe we want to do some half slabs up here, I guess. Just to keep things from spawning. Yeah, did you see that? That creeper just about got us. We're gonna have to do something. And then let's slab the floor too. I'm gonna say let's slab the floor. That way we don't have to worry about anything spawning down here. We're gonna have to bring it down one more level. Efficiency 5. You are awesome. I'm really excited that we have this done. I hope we use all different colors. I wasn't sure, honestly, if we would. Just because of the sheer fact. I mean, how often do you use pink in a build, you know? I mean, I'm sure some people do, but I just don't use pink very often. All right, now we're gonna slab the rest of this. So it blends in, looks good, and we're not gonna have to worry about anything spawning, which is gonna be nice. I'm really excited about that first pixel art subscription too. I keep saying subscription. I don't know why. It's not like anyone subscribed. The first pixel art submission, like that was a really cool one, Lord of the Rings. So we're gonna get that stuff and get that in, and that was mostly dark colors I saw. So there it is. All right, that's something. I'm excited about this. We are officially farming wool. It looks cool, except for those two weird dirt blocks there on the end. I mean, I guess I could always just like throw a random block in there and then throw a torch on top of it. I don't know. It's pretty sweet. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and it's going to give us access to a ton of wool for our pixel art projects. I'll tell you what. Let me clean up. I'm looking at my mess. Let me see where we're at with time in the episode, and then maybe we can get into a cocoa bean farm too. And I think next episode, even if we don't have time for it today, I think next episode we'll knock out all the dyes. We'll try to knock out all the dyes, except maybe black, because we're gonna have to do a squid farm or a fish farm or the ocean or something. We'll try and knock dyes out next episode, and then the following episode, that'd be episode 25, pixel art time. Lord of the Rings pixel art time. All right, dudes, I'll be back. And there we are. She's done. Now you can see I did put some steps in the corner. That looks way better than just the bare dirt. Kind of covers it up and makes it look a little more finished. I also finished filling in the shears. So they are all the dispensers are full of shears. And I'm probably going to chill out and see what kind of rates we get off this thing. But unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. We don't have time to get into the cocoa bean farm. We'll definitely do that next time, probably right here in the same area. But until then, I just want to say thanks for joining me. I hope you had a blast. I know I did, and I can't wait to see you next time. Later, breadheads.